So welcome to the demo of this business analysis online course. Okay. To before we start, let us just introduce each other and then get into the demo, which is basically to discuss about more about who is a business analyst or quality of a BA or skills required, course content, everything, whatever you need to understand about the training, understand about the business analyst job. I'm going to explain you today. Okay. So to start introductions, let me just introduce myself. Okay, as you know, my name is Sridhar. I'm working as a project manager come independent consultant. I have around 18 plus years of experience. I started my career in 1999. Since then, I've been working on different kinds of IT projects. Okay, right from a very simple website to implementing the ERP applications. Okay, and yeah, that's what all my experience is. And then coming to this business analysis training, this was part of our own internal training program during the recession period in 2008, where we used to recruit more number of people in US and train them and get the job done. So after that, after a couple of years of that, I thought of helping all other people like you who are coming out of the industry, who have no idea what is IT industries or what kind of BA jobs are available in the market. So I taken the same kind of training, on the job kind of training for my own internal people, and giving you the same kind of training with all the project oriented approach and mentoring on every day so that you can get confidence to get into the market, prepare yourself for interviews, prepare yourself for the jobs. Okay, not only that, that is a secondary objective, but the primary objective is I want you to be ready to work as a BA. You can directly go and face the customer without any hesitation or without any uprightness. That means you don't need to worry about it. So that's what all about the training. I will explain you complete training approach, training process, etc. Okay. For now, I just want you to brief about yourself. What is your qualification, experience? What do you know about be a job, and why do you want to do this training? Okay. So let's start with the basic information or very the basic level of training. That is, what is business analyst or who is a business analyst? What exactly the business analyst does in the regular day-to-day job. So if you are at this stage of taking a demo, means you might have done some kind of research online, like what is a BA job, or what kind of job descriptions, etc. So if you look at any theoretical definition, just Google it, who is a BA or what is a BA job, then you will find a definition something like this. Okay, a business analyst is a person who acts as a liaison between business people who are having some kind of business problems and the technology people who have knowledge or who know how to create automated solutions to those problems. Okay, this is you can even find this in any textbook like IIBS book or PMIBA book or BCS guidelines book, anything. You open up, you will find this particular definition very clearly. If you ask me to explain the same in a very simple English, if you say this is a very big thing, so you can say in very simple English terms, you can say the BA job is nothing but a mediator between the customer and programming team. Now, this is very theoretical or bookish knowledge. So whatever you learn in the books, in your academics, when you go to the job, there will be a lot of difference between what you learn or what you read in the books and what you actually have to implement in the job. Right? So people started asking me, what is a real-time BA job? So from my own experience, okay, from my last 18 years of experience, I would say a BA job is, you can divide that into two different parts. Okay, in the part one of your job, you are a person who goes to the customer's place and collect the requirements from different stakeholders. Right from the top level management people to the low level people and end users who are going to use application at the end of the day, including the mid level managers, SMEs. There will be plenty of people, mostly around 10 to 12 different people at the client's place, and also you will have to deal with your own technical team as well. That also will come to you in the analysis part. So you will be talking to almost 10 to 12 different people at the customer's place, take the requirements from them, come back to your office and document it. When you're documenting it, you will notice that all these 12 people are not talking in the same pitch or at the same level, right? Everybody has their own perception of what they want. And sometimes what they do is they will give you some requirements which are going out of the scope of the project. So if you're talking about a project, if you say any project that is, and now let's say your company is developing a project, means your company has an agreement with the client that you are going to develop some 100 features for some $10,000. That means every single feature has a cost to it, right? So there is nothing free in the world. So if the customer end users, like 12 people are giving you some 12 different requirements, if it is going beyond the scope of the requirement, will your IT company will develop that? No. So that is what the first thing you have to analyze, whether all these 12 people or 10 people are giving you the requirements are within the scope of the project or not. And also sometimes there will be some crazy people who will give you some crazy requirements which are technically not feasible also. Okay, so we have to analyze that. Now technically, how to analyze. So we will have internally also we will have some stakeholder who will help you out to do the technical feasibility analysis. So whenever you are writing your requirements, you always will be keeping in touch with some of the programmers or somebody who will be appointed by your PM to give you a technical feasibility study for every requirement you are writing. So that is called analysis of the part. So you have to analyze whether the requirement is within the scope of the project, and also at the same time whether it is technically feasible or not. Based on that, you have to give different structures to your requirements, like business requirements, user requirements, functional requirements, etc. for any given project. That is a first part of your job, and this is going to be your core part of a BA job. That means almost 80% of your job will be here itself. One of the core jobs is this one. Then in the part 2 of your job, if you look at any application, right, any application development or any software project, you would be dealing with 3 different teams. One is the customer, one is the end user, and another is a programming team, right? Now, do you have any idea who will be the customer, or who will be the end user, or who will be the programming team?
Customer would be our client who gives the project. Say like in Redbus came to us and he asked me, I need an app like this, I need a web page like this. So he will be the customer, and the end user will be like who uses the site to book the budget of it.
Okay.
And the team will be our software development team, that will be to design the page.
Okay. Right. So now that is a layman's terminology or a third person's terminology, or but if you think about a BA, this is going to be a bit different. Okay. So typically the customer whom we call is a decision maker, or you can say the business owner or project sponsor. Like you said, for example, the Redbus, yes, the owners of the Redbus is the customer of it. So generally, these people will be top level executive management people will be there. So example like a CEO, CTO, CFO, general manager, or business unit head, etc. End users will be the people who are going to use the application at the end of the day. Like you said, a customer of that particular company, yes, that is also a kind. But otherwise, if you look at a BA's perspective, that is only one particular user. But there are plenty of users. Let's say, for example, Redbus is going to market their services. Okay, it's not that you just develop an application and put it online. You will get every day 1 lakh customers. That's not possible. You have to do some kind of sales. You have to support the customers. You have to update your calendar. You have to update your schedules, right? You have to update your system at content all the times. So likewise, if you implementing a CRM application or any application for one particular day, company also, there will be plenty of internal employees who will also be supporting in the backside. whatever you see in the front end, like you said, customer, I can go there and book a bus ticket over there. That is good. But what happens behind the screen? There are plenty of things are going to be. Right? So for example, like this, the customer support. Let's say you are not able to find something on the site. What you will do? You will have to go to their customer support. Right? Similarly, the sales. How Redbus is reaching you? There are some strategies that they can by that you are actually aware of that there is something called Redbus.in. So there will be plenty of things in the back end, like the company itself will be having. Let's say a sales executive or a sales manager, right? Or let's say accountant, right? HR executive. They will also have to use the system in some or the other way. Okay, so at the end of the day, how to get their balance sheet of entire or Redbus.in organization? Obviously, they should be able to use the system and download what all the revenues they made, how much refunds they have given, how much tax they have paid. Everything will come into that. So there will be an accountant who will be using the system also. Of course, the end customers and customers of companies also one user. Likewise, there can be more number of users also. And the programming team are all the the IT company side people like the project manager, technical architect, okay, DBS, programmers, right, testers, UI experts, right. You have technical writers, right. Of course, you are also there as a BA. Okay, so you as a BA also one of the part of the programming team. Now, when you look at these titles of these people, right, like a CEO or a sales executive, right, or a programmer, okay, you can easily imagine by looking at their job title, you can imagine what could be their professional and personal profile altogether. Let's say a CEO. The CEO could be generally a management graduate with 20 plus years of experience, right? So sales executive will be generally a graduate with 0 to 2 years of experience. A programmer is a technical graduate with excellent knowledge about different technical languages like C, C# or ASP, .NET or maybe the PHP, Java rather than the English language, right? So because of this, their profiles, their knowledge level, their thought process will be entirely different from one another. Whatever a CEO can think, it cannot be the same way the sales guy can think or a programmer can think. Okay, if you have ever dealt with the CEO level people, they will always talk to you in one-liners. You ask 10 lines of question also, they will give you one simple liner, bullet point answer, straightforward, simple and very crisp answer they will give you, right? So similarly, everybody will have their own thought process and their mindset and knowledge level. So whatever this guy is saying, this guy may not understand in the same fashion, and even this guy also. That means all people are thinking in a different level, so there will be definitely some communication gap will be there. Okay, to give you a very simple example, I'll give you one example here. So CEO says that I need an annual report, okay, for year 2016. This is what the CEO says. Now, just go to the sales executive and ask him what is it. Based on his knowledge level, based on his mindset and thought process, this guy will tell you that all the sales acquired by him during the year 2016 is what an annual report for him, because he can think only that much. If you ask a sales manager, he will say that all the sales acquired by his sales team, maybe some 7 to 8 different sales executives under him, is what an annual report for him. If you ask an accountant, he will talk about all the balance sheets, general ledgers, profit and loss accounts, all the ledger accounts, etc. Likewise, everybody will have their own perception about the report. Even if there are programmers also, let's say you are working in a very big company where the global project is there and you have two different programmers or programming teams. Let's say one team in India, okay, only the Indians are there and working on site. So they will generally create any report by default from April to March. If you have an on-site only Americans are there, then they will by default they will create it from January to December.
Yes.
So very simple requirement called this. If you have so many different variations or meanings, you can imagine the complexity increases, the more the communication gap will be, and the more the conflicts will be. So that is where you come into the picture as a BA to ensure that all these people involved in the project have a common understanding of the requirements. So why we can do that? Because we are the people who actually created these requirements in the first place. So it will be easy for us to do our job, to convince them or to make sure that everybody is on the same page. And believe me, the job is not that easy. Okay, however or how much homework or hard work that you do to write your requirements in a proper structure and explain them, still the conflicts will definitely arise. Okay, to solve the conflicts, the best way what we do is we'll call for a meeting and put all of them together in front of each other and discuss about the agenda and close the deal across the table. That is the best way to solve a lot of problems. That means in the second part of your job, you are going to conduct a number of meetings. In fact, mostly the meetings only. Okay, that is what actually the BA job in general. So if you have any questions here, you can ask.
So, I have a small level what is the difference between business analyst, data analyst, data scientist?
Business analyst does whatever I just explained you. Data analyst is a person who is more about the statistical person. So who will be taking a data of let's say 1 GB, 2 GB and whatever the report the management wants, they will generate or create a report from that. So let's say you're talking about Redbus you talked about. So Redbus management wants to see that from Hyderabad. Okay, what is 20 years to 25 years of people, how many people have booked and took the refund of their tickets. So searching all this and creating a report is called a data analyst. So that means you have a data in-house, you are analyzing that and giving a specific report as per the management needs. So for that you have to use several tools, statistical tools, right? So like SAS tool is there, or the business objects tool is there. All those data mining tools, data warehousing tools. If you go to the bigger level, Redbus is a small thing. If you think about insurance companies, right? LIC, billions of records will be there. Literally billions of the records. So you have to know the data scientists or data analysts or those people who will be analyzing that data and give a specific report to the top management or whoever is their customers are.
This works, data analyst and data scientists are according to the company standards, or are they in a seniority difference?
It's like a programming job. Okay, so like a programmer, how the programmer works is also the same. So based on your seniority level, your project will be different. The crucial projects will be handed over to the senior people. Okay, non-crucial projects will be handed over to the junior level people. Again, that's a tool-based training, a tool-based job. Okay, it is not a conceptual job like a BA. BA is more about the communication job. Okay, you will have to learn separate tools for that and be comfortable with them. Okay, so that is entirely different. It has no relationship with this.
Do we have any tools for BSc or only documentation?
Yes, for documentation itself we will be having some tools. Okay, I'll explain you the tools also now. Okay. So now, to do this or to perform this job, the primarily what skills you require is, number one, excellent communication skills. Okay, so when I say communication skills, you require excellent verbal English skills. Okay, textual, that is to document everything, and also visual skills. Okay, so when I say document everything in English, okay, there will be several cases where you may not be express some things in simple English, or whatever you express, people may not even understand that. So in those cases, what we do is we do the visual communication. Okay, there is a saying in English like one picture is equal to 1,000 words. So you can easily pictorially, you can explain the thing so that anybody can understand easily. For this visual skill, communications, we have tools. Like, in fact, we have concepts called UML and UI concepts. For these concepts, we have separate tools like UML tools and UI tools, which you two should be good or expert with. So, as part of our training, we'll definitely taking care of those tools as well. Apart from that, obviously, you have to have the MS Word, the skills as well. Okay, obviously, I'm going to teach even that also, how to use MS Word to the maximum extent as a BA.
Okay.
The second thing, there is a communication, because you are going to the client and taking the requirements, then you are documenting it, and then while you are documenting what you are doing, you are analyzing it. So analytical skills are also very, very important for you.
Yes.
Okay, and also during the second part of your job, you are conducting so many meetings, right? So for the meetings, you will have excellent facilitation skills. And not only this, okay, whatever the BA job does, apart from this, there will be the regular day-to-day job will be there. Like for example, maintaining, let's say, CR log, or maintaining a risk register, or traceability matrix. There will be plenty of things will be there. So typically, any job will have its own unique tasks. So you will have to have the knowledge about all those, the BA unique BA task. It could be somewhere around 50 to 60 tasks. Okay, if you possess this knowledge of all these business, the analyst task, and these primary skills with you, then you can go anywhere in the world and can work as a BA without any external support. And this is what actually you need to perform a BA job. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay. So now you can ask me, what are these 50 to 60 tasks? Right?
Yes.
So those are nothing but the course content. If you open up the course content document and see that everything mentioned here is a simple or the real BA task. Okay, so anything, let's say RACI matrix or sign off meeting, sign off of the project, or kick off meetings, your scrum meetings, writing down all these types of requirements, everything like RTMs, change management, right? Okay, UAT, all these are different tasks. Okay, and I am going to cover every single aspect of it. In fact, I am going to cover right from the scratch, like who is a business analyst, like whatever we discussed today, the basic fundamentals, CMMI overview, software development lifecycle, different types of methodologies. Okay, I'll explain you what is software also, what is a product, service, static, dynamic, technical, everything, whatever you need to have knowledge in order to perform a BA job. Okay, the basic foundation also I'm going to cover. Okay, then I will go with the basic, the process of doing a BA job, like what is the requirement, okay, what is a RACI matrix, how to make your own work efforts and estimations, then discuss about different types of requirements, characteristics of requirements, like these are all the different types, business, user, system, functional, non-functional, these are all different types of requirements. We'll use different types of elicitation techniques, like document analysis, models, context diagrams, surveys, brainstorming, interviewing, questionnaire, everything, whatever you are seeing here, every single technique we will discuss in detail. Okay, so then classifying the requirements, validation, walkthrough, sign-offs, everything. You just go through this document, all these tasks are what actually BA does. And I'm going to do every single task implemented. Let me explain that now. The approach of the training. Okay, so the approach of the training is, this is going to be a 40 hours of sessions live, so which will go for 4 weeks of training. Okay, so Monday to Friday, okay, at 2 hours every day. And that is primarily the session will be there, live session like this, very interactive, where you can see everything on my screen, and whatever the question that you have, you can ask that. And the approach is, on the day 1 of our training, what I will do is, I will select a project from your own life experience. then convert you as a BA. Let's say now you are an IT recruiter. What I will do is I will take one, any software that you might have used, okay, or your company is using, and then I will convert you as a BA for that project, and then I will take a topic and explain it for you. Then what I'll do is I will implement it for you. So let's say some 10 points. Then what I do is I will give you an assignment for you, so that you will have to implement around 25 points to see how well you can really implement on your own. When you come back on day 2, okay, what I do first thing is I will review your work, okay, and give you the inputs, suggestions on how to improvise yourself further. It's like a daily mentoring for you. Okay, then I will take the next topic, again explain it. Sometimes, okay, because all these topics are very new, you may not be able to do the assignment on the same day. Then I will not take the next topic, but some other general topic, so that you are not going to miss the flow on the training. But because there will be other people also, it is always suggestible that you finish your assignments on the same day. Okay, so then what I will do, again I will take the next topic, explain it, again implement it for you. Okay, again on the same project, right? Again I will give you the assignment for you. So what is happening with here? We are taking the same project and implementing it on a regular basis for every single topic of a BA. So that means you are going to implement one end-to-end implementation by end of the training itself, right? And like I said, assignments are not going to be that easy for you. So you will have to spend around 2 hours a day on average in order to implement these. Sometimes it may take more than that also. For example, learning these UML tools and UI tools, you might not have heard about them. So you are going to learn on that. That will take some more time. So on average, I would say minimum 40 hours are needed for these assignments as well.
Yes.
So that means you are spending 40 hours of sessions plus another 40 hours of assignments in the same training days. So by the end of the training itself, you will have one end-to-end live project of your own experience. Again, not a dummy project we are talking about, right? And if you notice, BA jobs are always independent in nature. That means you are the only one person who is going to do your own job. So that means you need to have the confidence to perform the job on your own. So with this one project implementation with a daily mentoring, you may not get that confidence. So what I do is, generally I suggest you to do another second real-time project implementation for under 20 to 30 hours, but this must be done on your own, independently. What I will do is, I will review on deliverables, okay, and if required, I will give you the email support. Mostly you may not require that, but I will definitely review on the deliverables, like in the real-time job, how it happens. Okay, on the real-time job, what happens? They will your PM will call you and say that, okay, Sandeep, take this, this is what I'm assigning you to the project. Okay, I need the BRD to be finished in next 10 days. That's it. So after that, it is on your own. So this kind of second project will boost your confidence like 100 times more than what you are after these 4 weeks of training. The more number of your projects that you perform on your own, the more level of confidence you will be getting. So if you just follow this rigorous curriculum of this 40 hours every day, this 40 hours of assignments every day, and this second project of minimum 20 hours, of total of 100 hours, then believe me, you can go anywhere in the world and can work as an IT project without any external support. You don't need to call me back also and claim a minimum of 2 to 3 years of experience without any problem, without faking anything, and without any hesitance also. You can proudly and confidently claim that. That is what all about my training is. This is what the approach is.
have doubts in for the Scrum meetings that business analysts the Scrum meetings are
Yes, yes. Scrum meetings are the one of the responsibilities of a BA. Some companies they may not follow, but otherwise you can. That's not a big deal. It's a very simple thing. So it is obviously part of the BA job.
I heard that like when I'm trying for something like most of the time the test cases are
So if BA is not there, then PM will be the right person to conduct the Scrum meeting. Let's say the PM is not available because he is too busy with some other projects, then he will appoint somebody. It is not necessary that only testing lead or a programmer lead or anybody. Whoever is capable to handle the meeting, making sure that people are on agenda, then they can conduct it.
Yeah, I heard
Anyway, yes, it is anyway the regular meetings. It is not that once in a while. Scrum meetings happens every single day. Those are called daily Scrum meetings. So who is going to conduct is not an issue. Whether it's the content in that or the agenda in the meeting is correct or not is very important. So sometimes what we do is senior most people, the person in the team will appoint them as a Scrum master. Okay, no egos. Sometimes egos also plays a vital role in the project. Right? So we'll make that the senior most person. It could be a testing lead or a tester also. But 99% of the time when your agile process is following strictly, then the BA should take care of this. Okay. So, and apart from that, I mean, when we discuss about the different, the topics, UML, that is, the overview of the UML, object-oriented approach, use case diagram, activity diagrams, like UML tools like MS Visio, Visual Parroting. There are plenty of free tools and paid tools available in the market for both UML concept as well as UI concept. So I will try to teach as many as possible. I will explain you and show you them, whatever is there on my system. Okay. And other important aspect of this is, and I'll give you all the study materials, case studies, everything, even the student portal. I do have my own. Okay, but before that, let me explain this also. I'll come back to the certification later. So training approach is purely focused on the real time. Okay, and case studies with the real time scenarios. I will help you with the resume services from day one, like where you are good with that. We'll make a flashword and keyword in your resume and put it there. Even the how to face interview, like what kind of questions you can get on each topic, how to defend that, how to answer that. Okay, and within my network, if I get any job openings in my friends' companies, I will definitely refer you as an employee referral over there. Okay, and online library is what I'm going to give you, which is like your college library. When you're in college, you had a library, right? So similar to that. So this is going to be an online library. Okay, lifetime free. And everything is in soft copy format. You can download them and use it. Okay, so it will have around 500 plus resources like templates, textbooks, articles, calculators, etc. Okay, it will have also the the DevOps member book, the certification member books, or whatever I have. I will be keeping it and updating it whenever I get more things. Okay. And this is a basic career path, how you can grow in a BA job. Like you can become a business analyst now after your MBA with couple of years of experience. Then you can become a senior or lead BA, then a business process consultant or a SME, and then account manager or an independent consultant. Okay. We can discuss more about this during the training classes. Yeah, see, that's fine. I mean, if you have, instead of MBA 2 years, graduation with 4 years is good always.
Like I have some graduation,
You have a graduation in management, right?
No, it's like
BA.
my 10 plus 3 plus 3 my education is like 10
Okay.
diploma and
No, diploma means, yeah, you are coming into the IT stream again, I mean, maybe. But otherwise that is fine. 10 plus 3 plus 3 is good. And you have 4 years, right? That's also fine. The importance is, you will be qualified based on your 4 years of experience now. Okay. So once you are an experienced person, your experience talks more. You should make your experience talk actually. Yeah. So that will, I'll explain you when the resume part and interview part goes on. So I'll explain you that. Okay. So yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
Generally, like individuals who generally certifications.
Yes. Now you ask the question, then I will explain you. There are plenty of certifications like IREB is there, IIB is there, PMI, BCS, QA. Plenty of certifications are there. But because of your experience, I would suggest not to go because certifications are not accepted in the industry as of yet. Okay. Primarily, there are two reasons. One reason is the demand supply gap. Okay, there is lot of demand of BA jobs, but the supply of knowledgeable people in the market is very less.
Okay.
Believe me, people who, let's say for example you, okay, you can see that there are jobs, you are interested and you may have applied for one or two jobs, but believe me, do you know the entire knowledge about what BA job really does?
Yeah.
So that is a problem. So even when we post any the job postings for our own internal recruitments, we get some 100 resumes, but believe me, 95 to 96 of them do not have any knowledge about BA. So that is the biggest problem. So first of all, finding the right person is very difficult. Forget about the certification. That is the second thing.
Okay.
So that will come maybe in the future days, maybe after 5-6 years, right, where there will be more number of BS available in the market and their competition is there. Then this will make some difference. But as of now, this demand supply gap itself is very huge. We do not have right people in the market for BA job.
I think there is not much competition.
That's what I'm saying. The people available, if 100 people are there, so only 4 or 5 people will get interview calls. So they will have to choose from those 4 or 5 people. So that means your peer competition also very less now. Okay, earlier days even finding one resume also very big deal. I mean we used to be very lucky to find one resume who knows what is a BA job is. So nowadays we are at least getting 3 or 4. Maybe by end of 5-6 years, okay, there will be some 15-20 people. At that time this will make a sense. But now I don't think you will have any advantage over this. Without this also you can be a BA. And this is a costly affair. It's not a simple affair. Okay, so it will cost you around minimum $500 to $600 for any other certification, and you don't know which certification is going to be accepted by whom. As of now, I said nobody cares about the certificates. Just go to jobs. Okay, open up Indeed.com and open up any job. Okay, you will come to know about what the job descriptions and what they are looking for. So if you look at any job certification, nobody will ask you. I mean, job descriptions. Nobody will ask you for any certifications at all. Okay, so don't worry about this for now. Okay, so let's get hold into the IT industry and get a job. Okay, then after that you can think about it. Okay, and this is a course schedule. Typically I conduct classes either early in the morning or late in the evening, that is before office hours or after office hours India time. Okay. And then if you are not available these times and want a flexible timing, that is a different story. I'll take it in a separate sessions for that.
Okay. If it is on Saturday and Sunday, what will be?
So generally, the flexible timings, and that will be only one-on-one basis. Okay, so because your timings may not match other person's timings, so this will be only one-on-one training. Okay, so this will be Saturday 2 sessions. 2 sessions on Saturday and 2 sessions on Sunday if it is weekends. Okay. And the cost will be 50% more than the actual cost, because this is going to be only for you, one-on-one basis will be there. Okay, so any other, even the weekdays also, if you want some other time which is mutually agreeable between you and me, okay, that will also be considered as one-on-one. So I will be focusing only one person. Okay, so that is also going to cost you 50% more. Any times other than this will be the cost. Okay, I will be publishing the, the batch timings, the batches will be, time batches and, the batches, published on my website.
Okay.
Okay, at least, for all, the next 3 months will be there most of the times. So you can check out, and the next batch, like, for you, it is on 14th August.
Yes. Just for a calculation that this 14, if I join in this 14 job match, like it could be can I get this
Which one?
this sessions?
Yeah, it is, I know this session, this, whatever the demo video is online on YouTube, I'll share the link of that also.
Okay. I want to share this with my friend also. You will be all.
Yeah, I will share the YouTube link, no problem. Okay, so if you have any other questions also, you can ask.
Once I understand the food, next time we for the portal.
Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Whenever you're done, you can let me know. Now, Saturday, if you join that time, then by the time it will be finished, because I will take only 4 people per batch. Again, you also remember that this is going to be a more customized, the personalized training. So I will not take not more than 4 people.
Can I tell you about like Wednesday, Thursday?
No, if you can tell me by most probably by Wednesday evening, and you're ready, then then fine. It depends upon if I get more number of people by that time, I will not be helpful to you. Okay, the earlier the better for you. Yeah.
End of the office hours, before end of the day, like before night and
Okay, fine, no problem. Okay then. So meanwhile also, if you have any other questions, you can email me or you can call me. I will answer that. Okay?
And what about the payment amount like that?
Fine then. So if you have no other question for now, we'll wrap up the demo today. And if you have any further questions also, just email me or call me back.
Sure.
Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you very much. See you then. Bye-bye.